Five Nights at Freddy's. What a game. What a fucking game. I played Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time in my entire life back in October, and I gotta say, my balls were in my throat the entire time. That game, as much as it is basically just relying on jump scares, it does a pretty good job of building the tension up to that point, and I gotta say, I had a fun time. I will not be playing any more Five Nights at Freddy's games because I don't like the feeling of feeling as though my heart is going to explode any second. However, I gotta say, it was a fun game and an intriguing series made by this man right here. This man you see before you is the man responsible for the existence of FNaF. His name is Scott Cawthon. Now, unfortunately, there's been a trend in the last few years of the creators of beloved franchises ending up being pieces of shit. From Notch to J.K. Rowling to now, unfortunately, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott Cawthon. Now, Scott Cawthon has always had a pretty interesting background. I was aware of this just because of the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's was so popular back in the mid to 2010s. That anytime you wanted to watch like a game theory video or something, you always had a Five Nights at Freddy's one pop up in your recommended. So you always learned a lot about like this franchise if you watched any YouTuber who talked about it as well. Like back in 2014, 2015, FNaF content was impossible to avoid. Okay. Now Scott, I had learned a long time ago, was a pretty hardcore Christian, you know, like pretty damn Christian, like to the point of if we look on his Wikipedia and we see his filmography here, yes, he has a filmography as well as a gameography. Is that what it's called? What's it called? Just video games. So it's not a gameology or gameography. We've got Noah's Ark, Story of the Biblical Flood, Pilgrim's Progress, The Christmas Journey and Blessings God Gives, Christmas Symbols, Bible Plays series, the Jesus Kids Club series. So, like, you know, kind of a... You can just kind of generally tell the kind of guy this dude is off of that, which is what kind of surprised me back in the day. This is the dude who created one of the most popular horror game series out there this decade. However, it got worse, all right? Like, it's not like, oh, he just happens to be kind of a nutty Christian behind the scenes, but guy makes good games and he's not causing anyone any harm. No reason to really care about it. Listen, when it comes to somebody's political opinions, if their political opinions at no point bleed into the art they make and they're not hurting anybody, I don't really care all that much. However, whew. This came out a couple days ago. This is a long thread of Scott Cawthon's political contributions and donations to candidates that he supports. You can see there's a lot of Republicans here. We have Tulsi with the D, and Tulsi is probably the worst Democrat ever. So that's, you know, stays in line. Tulsi is basically a Republican. In fact, I'm pretty sure she's just like coming out as a Republican now, right? She had her big like turf thing that she did with like trans sports and everything. I'm pretty sure she's just a full-on Republican at this point, like just a right-wing populist. Republican, and just a bunch of other Republican shit. You know, you got here, what do we have here, right? We got Donald Trump, $2,000 to Donald Trump. Kathy McMorris Rogers, $2,800. Bill Cassidy, $2,800. Elise Stefanik, $2,800. Win red. So this is like win red, as in like win red for Republican. $2,500. Kevin McCarthy, $933. Kimberly Klatchik, $2,800. Tommy Tuberville, $2,800. David Valadao, $933. Corey Gardner, wow, there you go. That's whew, 2,800. Mitch McConnell. My man loves Mitch McConnell. 5K? He donated 5K to Mitch McConnell. 5K to the shriveled up tortoise ghoul, Mitch McConnell. 2,800 to Joe Collins. 933 to Devin Nunes. 2,500 to the National Republican Senatorial Committee. $5 to Greg, John R., and Christina Hale. And finally, $2,500 to Ben Carson. Whew! Now, if it turned out that a popular content creator or game developer in the gaming community was a Republican behind the scenes, in most circumstances, it wouldn't really be all that big a deal because the gaming community, in general, leans a little bit right, or at least on the more politically disaffected, edgy side. The problem is, you may not know this, but let me go ahead and show you the lineup of FNaF characters. Let me just bring up this little image here. Wow, that shrunk the image by a considerable margin, to say the least. Can I get a blow up of this, please? Like a larger view? Hello? Please? Will this work? There we go. All right. Prepare yourselves. Is there anything here that stands out to you about this lineup of characters from the Five Nights at Freddy's series? Anything in particular? About 95% of them are animatronics. And the furry community? The furry community really likes Five Nights at Freddy's. And the furry community is also pretty gay. So what happens when you've got a fan base of a lot of young gay furries who find out the creator of their franchise they enjoy is a dipshit who donates tens of thousands of dollars to openly anti-LGBT political candidates, who contributes his own money, the money that he made off of this series, off of his fans, to candidates that are actively fighting against the rights of a significant amount of the fans of his franchise. I think you guys can guess what happens. An utter shitstorm is what happens. So, with that said, that shit went mega viral. Mega viral. Twitter was trending for like 2 days about Scott Cawthon. People were upset. So naturally, when people are quite upset at you, you have to make a response. And you better believe our boy Scott made one on the Five Nights at Freddy's official subreddit. Big ol' paragraph, multi-paragraph post here. My response and maybe last post. Just dunked on with tons of awards. How much silver is that? Helpful award. We got like the I'd like to thank award. We got, what is this? I've never even seen this one. Tenarian All Powerful Award. Jesus, wow. So you can just kind of imagine, I don't want to spoil the contents. I don't want to spoil the contents of this post. However, you're going to see in a moment how much soy clapping is being done by all the people in the replies supporting him and awarding him gold and upvoting his post in a moment, because this might actually be possibly the biggest non-apology I've ever seen in my entire life. So here I've got a TTS reader up, and we're just going to listen to the post, because God knows I can't be trusted to read that entire thing without sounding like an idiot, because I'm bad at reading aloud.
This message isn't specifically directly at the Reddit community. This is just the community that I care about the most and where I choose to post these things. I never cared much for Twitter anyway. To say that the last few days have been surreal would be an understatement. I have debated greatly how best to address this, including not addressing it at all, but with so many people from the LGBT community in the fanbase that I love, that's not an option. I'd like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I try to treat people, but there I was trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed, with people threatening to come to my house.
Doxing isn't okay. Threats aren't okay. Want to make that very clear right off the bat. Obviously. This should be a no-brainer, of course. However, I want to point out, no one is talking about how Scott Cawthon treats people. It doesn't matter if every time you see a gay person in public or just an LGBT person in general in public, you get on your knees and you fucking kiss their feet and you give them, like, you let them eat your ass out, okay? Nobody is talking about that. They're talking about the tens of thousands of dollars you've contributed financially to the campaigns of candidates, to Republican candidates that are openly fighting against the rights for LGBT people. Even the one Democrat on this list is basically a Republican who has been anti-trans, who is openly transphobic, and has recently basically come out as being a Republican. No one is talking about his treatment of LGBT people as a person, how he interacts with them.
My wife is 6 weeks pregnant and she spent last night in fear because of what was being said online. She has already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her so afraid really scared me. All this because I exercised my right and my duty as an American citizen to vote for and support the candidates who I felt could best run the country for everyone, and that's something that I won't apologize for.
So already, this is just going to be him doubling down. I'm exercising my duty and my right as an American citizen to support the candidates I believe in. Nobody is denying that. Nobody is denying that you are in fact very strongly exercising your right. Can we count up how much he... Oh, I can't because I'm using the calculator to count up donos for the dono goal on my stream. But, like, this is a lot of money. I mean, that's already 5K right there. On that, another... I don't like math, all right? That's already 10K right there. The Mitch McConnell, Ben Carson, and National Republican Senatorial Committee, all that there is already 10,000. Dude's donated tens of thousands of dollars to Republican candidates, okay? Yeah, leftist math, all right? You are very strongly exercising that right, in fact, and I believe that's what people are upset about. How strongly you were exercising it.
For those who took the time to look, you saw that the candidates I supported included men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats.
No one cares.
I supported Kimberly Klaczyk in Baltimore because I believed that she really cared for the African...
The one Democrat on this entire list. Fucking Tulsi Gabbard. Hold on, can we, here. Tulsi Gabbard, transphobic. Oh yeah, give it to me. Tulsi Gabbard introduces bill that would ban trans women and girls from female sports. Ooh. Yeah. The Protect Women's Sports Act. Very nice. The one Democrat.
I supported Kimberly Klaczyk in Baltimore because I believed that she really cared for the African American community there and wanted to pull them out of poverty.
Yeah.
I believed she could have really make a difference in a time when so many black communities were struggling. She lost, unfortunately. I support
Donating tens of thousands of dollars to Republican candidates. I really care about black people. I really care about the position, the socioeconomic position of black people in this country. By the way, I donated tens of thousands of dollars to right-wing political candidates that are constantly bitching about critical race theory and how cancel culture is making it so they can't say the N-word anymore.
I supported Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, even though I disagreed with her on several issues because I felt she would have been a good and fair president. And yes, I supported President Trump because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to America's enemies abroad, of which there are many. Even if there were candidates who had better things to say to the LGBT community directly, and bigger promises to make, I believed that their stances on other...
Even if there were candidates who had better things to say to the LGBT community directly and bigger promises to make, I believe that their stances on other issues would have ended up doing much greater harm to those communities than good. So he believes that the presidential candidate who won, incited his fan base into attacking the Capitol and denied the security of our election and the validity thereof, and banned trans people from the military. Not only that, but also attempted to take away, what is it? He attempted to take away the medical rights of trans people. Yeah, he didn't have nice things to say to the trans. That's all it was. He's at the LGBT community. He just didn't have nice things to say. That's all it was. Okay, he just didn't have nice things to say. That's all.
All of this explanation, I fear, is wasted, as people don't want to discuss with one another anymore. They want endless apologies and submission. People who are expecting those from me will get neither. I've always been supportive of creators, and have tried to treat everyone fairly, and treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender, or orientation.
Also, the argument that Trump's good for the economy doesn't really hold up when he allowed the coronavirus pandemic to ravage our country and kill. At one point, it was killing more than and I feel like this is the best way to quantify the amount of people that at one point were dying each day from COVID in America, because Americans only listen if you say this. More than a 9/11's worth of people every day. Not only that, but denying shipments of the vaccine to try to make things recover quicker. Our economy fucking nosedived because of his treatment of COVID. You can't use the argument that Trump was good for the economy when it would have taken the bare minimum of mask mandates and stay-at-home orders nationwide to prevent our economy from fucking shitting itself during the pandemic, and our economy not to fucking die, and for so many people to not die, so many Americans not die. Not only that, but people who are part of marginalized groups, because guess what? Poor people, especially poor black people, were way more likely to get and die from COVID than anyone else. Bro, that's his opinion, lol. Hey, Paxo, do you want to come on stream and talk about it? Paxo in YouTube chat with the FNaF profile picture. Come on. You can join the Discord. I can pull you into a call and we can talk about it. We can talk about his opinion. I thought this is America. I thought we're allowed to disagree. Am I not allowed to disagree with someone's opinion? Paxo, why can't my opinion be that I disagree with his opinion? Do you want to talk about it? Come on, Paxo. You've got 15 seconds to respond. 15, 14, 13, 12. He's getting death threats. Is that okay for you? No, in fact, I literally just said that wasn't okay. Come on. You got 13 seconds. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 1, 1 and what, 3/4 of a 1, half of a 1, 1/4 of a 1. All right. Listen, dude's got an FNaF profile picture. Maybe once his balls drop, then he'll be willing to come on. All right. Well, might have been a little too on the young side. Okay. Once his balls drop, then maybe he'll be willing to come on and debate. All right.
I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender, or orientation. I just treat people as people.
By the way, if your response to someone criticizing another person is that's just his opinion, bro, I am absolutely floored by the type of people who, in their mind, $42,204 is how much he spent on that page. Holy shit, Ellis Chevalite. Not only that, but you also have to consider the fact that with a lot of donations, depending on how you donate it, whatever you're donating it through takes a cut of it for the transaction. So he probably ended up donating more than that in the form of the... and that's just what made it through. So he might have donated an extra $100 or so, depending on what he used to donate it through and how much of a cut that particular thing takes. And Lily Broer, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gifted subs. I appreciate that. We'll get to that in a minute. So listen, if your response to somebody criticizing another person's actions or what they believe is that's just their opinion, please, for the love of God, think about what you say before you say it. because to anyone who knows, like, anything about anything, that's just my opinion, bro. My opinion is just that his opinion's bad. Why can't I have my opinion? That's like the most annoying comment.
I just treat people as people, everyone the same, and because of that, I've ended up with a very diverse group of people that I've worked with over the years. It wasn't intentional.
Wait, we've got another one? No way. Lucas Jeffrey, who's the other FNaF stan? Sean Shields, no matter what, I will still support Scott. Sean Shields, do you want to come on? Do you want to come on and talk about it? Sean Shields, you've got 10 seconds to hop in Discord. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. They never come on. They're always too much. They're always a pussy. They're always too much of a pussy.
It just happened that way. I choose people who are best for the job, I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people.
By the way, I should point out, I wanna make this very clear, okay? It is fine to enjoy and still play Five Nights at Freddy's games even after this comes out. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, you want to keep playing the games, and you want to support the games and everything, and you want more media in that outlet to come out, that is absolutely still completely fine. My only problems with those that defend the positions and the actions of Scott Cawthon himself. If you're just like, yeah, but I still like Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm still gonna play those games, that's fine. That won't be a problem. But no, like, if you're gonna defend his actions and his beliefs, that's what I want to debate about. I'm 99% sure Scott made the donation 5 years ago, Suno. Donation? What are you talking about? Donations! $42,000 worth of donations he made, and many of them were recent. These are all from 2019 and 2020. These are all from 2020. Some are from 2016 and 15, but most of them are from the last year. The majority of them are from 2020, late 2020 even. Not even like early, but late. Like, this isn't like, oh, it was a long time ago. This is recent.
I choose people who are best for the job, I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of life in my professional life and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way I will continue to be. I'm a Republican. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe in God. I also believe in equality, and in science, and in common sense. Despite what some may say, all of those things can go together. That's not an apology or promise to change, it's the way it's always been. If I get cancelled, then I get cancelled. I don't do this for the money anymore, I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get cancelled and retire. I would accept that. I've had a fulfilling career. Besides, most things that people can take from you are things that never had much value to begin with. I have always loved, and will continue to love, this community and this fanbase, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore.
Alright, so we've got the Five Nights at Freddy's soy facing about this, the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit. A lot of soy face happening down here. This thread has been locked by the moderators of our Five Nights at Freddy's. Got to make sure. 59% upvoted. Wow. Okay, now I know why. Hey guys, in the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit, why are you guys so scared of people expressing their opinion like Scott did? 59% upvoted. That's an F right there, I'm pretty sure. That's an F rating, if that's the percentage you got on a quiz. That means there's a lot of people on this subreddit that are not supportive of the actions of Scott Cawthon, and were perhaps maybe, you know, pushing back a little bit in the comments, but that can't be allowed in the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit. That can't be allowed, so you gotta lock down the subreddit to prevent any discussion from happening, right? Gotta make sure no one is speaking out against the God King Scott Cawthon, huh? Ooh. Ooh. Oh! That's a yikes right there. That's a yikes from me, dog. Anyway, listen, guys. Scott Cawthon, this man right here, we'll put him on screen so we can get a good look at this guy. Scott Cawthon is probably a pretty big piece of shit, you know, like your average conservative Christian type. But listen, if you like Five Nights at Freddy's, if you're a big fan of the games, of the media, of the theory building and the community and all that kind of stuff, and you want to continue to support that franchise, you want to continue playing it, you want to continue buying the games, that's fine. I don't care. All right. I do think it's good to know where your money may be going. If the creator of whatever medium you enjoy is supporting causes you don't like, it's very possible that in 2024, your money that you spend on the next FNaF game or whatever FNaF media he puts out that royalties go to him for, it's very possible that money may very well be going to Donald Trump's campaign in 2024. Some other psychotic Republican who wants to take away LGBT people's rights. Be aware of that. But I don't see anything wrong necessarily with still enjoying these games in this franchise. Anyway, that's more or less all I have to say. I just want to spread the word, you know, the good word of Zan. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, ring the bell icon so YouTube actually tells you when I upload a new video or anything like that. If you want to follow me on other social media, you can go down to the description below. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you want to support me financially, you can donate to me here on my website, xanderhall.com/live, through either subbing, gifting a sub, or just outright donating. On YouTube, you can hit the join button to become a channel member, or you can super chat. You can also sub or prime sub to me on Twitch, and you can also pledge me on Patreon. All of those things are very appreciated, and you can also join my fan Discord in the link in the description. I love having new people in there, so come hang out. Alrighty. Have a good one, okay? Be safe.